If you can do this and this, you can color a realistic apple just like this one. Don't believe me? I challenge you. Follow along with me and see for yourself. You absolutely can. First, grab this free download that I made for us to play with. Just scan the QR code or click the link below. Got your Apple page? Okay. First step is super easy. You'll need 2 markers. Any brand, any type, can be a brush marker like mine or just a regular felt pen. The only thing that we care about here is that you have 1 red marker and 1 yellow. That's it. Color the skin in red and the core in yellow. Don't worry about bleeding, overlapping strokes, or imperfections. We don't care about any of that. We don't even care about the exact shades of red and yellow, just red and yellow. Yes, it's that easy. Just make sure you're working on paper that can handle marker work. I color exclusively on cardstock these days, and this one is cream. Now we can switch to colored pencils. Again, any brand, any type, wax, oil, whatever you like to work with, as long as you have a deep red pencil. With this deep red, we're going to add stroke after stroke these surface lines. What these represent is the actual texture and coloration of something like a Fuji apple. The only rule in this step is to follow the direction of the curve of the fruit. It's easy. See where I'm placing mine? Very consistent. These will also help the viewer see the image as 3D once it's done. And notice that even though most of these are directional strokes, when I get close to the edges, I fill in the area all the way to the edge. I just want to make sure that I'm not crossing over the lines of my drawing. So it's perfectly fine to switch up your shading style in this area. As long as we don't have obvious cross-hatching happening and the curve lines are still obviously visible and consistent. As you add these, pick a lighter side of your apple and a darker side. Add fewer strokes to the light side. For me, it's here. So this part is important. On this layer, we don't actually want to shade everything that's marker with our colored pencils. Much of the marker should still remain untouched by the end of this step, especially on the light side of the apple. Now we come in with white. I highly recommend that whatever pencil brand you like to work with, you get individual pencils of Prismacolor White and Prismacolor Black. They work with every brand and they're simply the best. So without white, we want to establish the light source. Here, 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 and here. This pigment will not be pure white. Don't worry, that's perfectly fine. That's exactly what we want. We just want to diffuse this burgundy a little bit. So we want to see this. This kind of blending with burgundy and the creation of a whole new transition color is spot on. Oh, and I wasn't kidding about this being a challenge. This is official. Print out this page, follow my steps, snap a photo, post it in our Reddit community, and in a couple of weeks, I'll announce the winner. The winner will be featured in one of the upcoming episodes, and we'll get to request a coloring page for me to draw. Anything you want, name it, I'll draw it. Within reason. We just did the light side of the apple, now we can do the dark side. Grab a deeper burgundy and follow your own surface strokes in these areas only. These will be our shadows and they will remain on the darker side of the apple. Cool, we have light, we have shadow, we have a well-established shape. Now we add our main colors. Starting with a light red, we color over everything that's not obviously white. This is the main apple skin color, and it's also acting as a blender pencil. Up until now, we didn't really worry about blending, only adding colors. Now, without any additional effort, the pigment is getting smoothed out all on its own. This is what naturally happens when you add your third or fourth color. So no pressure is necessary. Let the pencils do what pencils were born to do. If like me, you're coloring a Fuji apple, I suggest you also come in with a light orange or yellow and add it to these areas between the red and the white and just all over where it feels right. This will also act like a blender and of course infuse our apple with a touch of sunshine. Now this step is very important for realism. Come in with a dark violet or blue and go over your deep burgundy shadows. I know it's scary. Apples aren't actually blue or violet and ours already looks really cool. Trust me, you're not gonna ruin it. Add the violet. Magical things will happen. Burgundy and violet, you see, create a gorgeous shadow color that can swing either way, warm or cool. This is a really great way to build up shadows without adding gray or black. Looking for realism? This is it. Always add violet to your shadows, no matter the subject. If you enjoy tricks like this and want to take your colored pencil skills even further, join my masterclass on how to use colored pencils like a pro. Not only will you learn 3 years worth of color theory in just 4 weeks, but you'll never look at another blank coloring page not knowing which colors to pick ever again. Now for the core. Start by adding white, lots of white. The stronger your yellow pigment was with the marker, the more white you want to add here. Keep the light source in mind. We want to make sure it's consistent with what we already established on the skin. So this will be our lighter side again. Now, for the yellow, you have a ton of options. How yellow or brown you want your apple to be depends on how fresh you want it to be. If you imagine that this apple was just cut, keep the core nearly white. If you imagine that some time has passed, I like a stronger golden ochre and even a touch of brown for that bruising and wilting effect. Very organic, very attractive. Keep the violet shadows in mind as well. Add a lighter blue or violet to some of the areas on the core as well. This detail will be barely visible, but trust me, it makes a world of a difference. And for the cherry on top, I like to come in with a white gel pen for those shiny, beautiful highlights. I'll drop a link to the white pens that I use below, but any white pigment will work. If your pen tip is thick, like mine, this is basically a brush marker, you may want to immediately smush it with your finger and then add another drop of white. Works every time. This is the same trick we used on the glaze on the cupcake, though the approach for the rest of it was radically different. Follow this link on the screen and find out which half of the cupcake was colored with a $150 colored pencil brand and which one was colored with a $30 brand, and how those two experiences were different, if at all.